It's very rare to see a team make the right pick with every chance they have. Generally, teams will make a good pick or two. Some teams will make mostly bad picks. Some teams will make some solid picks. But generally, the best drafts are just a couple good picks, maybe one or two great picks, and a couple meh picks. But this 2023 draft from the Steelers was genuinely probably the best draft I've seen in 5 years. They took who I would have taken with every spot until their last pick in the 7th round, which is just ridiculous. They made the right pick constantly. Starting off in the first round, they took Broderick Jones. They had a big need at tackle. They traded up and got Broderick Jones. Now, personally, I'm not quite as high on Broderick Jones as others are, but I recognize that he has ridiculous physical tools on top of being a solid pass protector right now. And in general, if he works on his technique, if he works on his run blocking, he could be an elite tackle because he has the athleticism to do all of that. Then moving on to the second round, 32 overall, they took Joey Porter, who I've said on this channel, he's my CB1. He has the same grade as Devin Witherspoon. I did kind of like Witherspoon a little more, but CB1, CB2, this is just great value. He's not an utter athlete, but he is smart. He's good in coverage. He has good instincts. He just does everything right. And he's an immediate starter for them. And then moving on to one of my favorite picks they made, Keanu Benton. Now, he went a lot later than I thought. He is such a good player. He's my defensive tackle 3. He's one of those really rare guys who could be a nose tackle that can rush the passer consistently. He's a little thin, and he does probably need to put on some weight, but he's got really nice strength. He's got a great finesse game for a D lineman. The athleticism is obviously good because of how thin he is, but in general, he was just impressive. Great motor, constantly getting off blocks, constantly making really nice tackles. He does need to improve in some areas. He needs to put on some weight and be a little more consistent at getting off blocks, but in general, very impressed with him. I thought this was great value in the late second. Then moving on to the third round, another great pick, Darnell Washington. Part of me thought he was going to go to the Packers at 13 overall, so getting him in the third round was ridiculous value. He's 6'7", 260 or 270. He's massive. He's got great athleticism. The upside is insane. Right now, he's a 6th offensive lineman for them at worst. And he will continue to improve. It's a great system for him to join. I love that fit. I love that pick. And then Nick Herbig. This one, maybe not quite as high on the player, more the scheme fit. He's one of those hybrid outside linebackers that drops into coverage a lot. Kind of the prototypical Wisconsin linebacker that plays edge and inside linebacker sometimes, but it's a great scheme fit. He could be their number 2 edge of the future. We'll see. But I liked the value in the 4th round, and I love the scheme fit. And then moving on to probably their best pick, Corey Trice in the 7th round. Corey Trice, I gave a pretty high grade to. He played corner, but a lot of people think he's going to make the move to safety. Personally, I think he could do either. He's got really good size, so he could move to safety pretty easily. He doesn't have plus athleticism, but in general, he kind of like Joey Porter. He's got the instincts, he's got the patience. He's just good and really good in man coverage. Not quite as good in zone, but he has room to improve. But in general, I did like what I saw from him in some plays on zone. In general, he's not quite as good in zone, but he does a lot. And if he makes the move to safety, he's a great tackler. He will need to work on getting off blocks more, but he's still solid at it. Very consistent tackler. He could be a deep safety, or he could be a starting man corner. And that versatility is so nice to have, especially in the 7th round. Then moving on to their last pick, Spencer Anderson. This is the only pick I didn't love, but it is the 7th round. I thought they could have gone after, maybe a Bryce Ford Wheaton guy, or maybe Ivan Pace, just best player available, but they got some O-line depth. I didn't scout Spencer Anderson, so I can't really speak on him too much, but from what I've heard, he's a solid player, maybe not the best O-lineman available, but still, if that pick was maybe Ivan Pace or Andre Carter or somebody like that's we're talking about a generational draft. Like, this was ridiculous. Every pick they made was great, and from a team I was not high on at all, to be honest. I do think this draft could launch them into contention in a ridiculously challenging division. But we're gonna see. Obviously, it depends a lot on Kenny Pickett and his development, but I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm excited to see how these rookies work out. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.
Base left. Rolling in his own end zone, trying to keep the play alive, and now throws. That's caught nowhere near the line to gain by Bennett. And he has the ball ripped away by Corey Trice, and it's a touchdown for Purdue.
Will that go as a fumble or a pick?
To keep this